like how it's not even like the feel aspect. It's like the fact that physically was like destroyed. Not maybe not completely. It wasn't completely destroyed as I
enough of it.
Enough of it. enough of it. Yeah, I don't think that thing's gonna be working right for a while.
Yeah, or ever. If you
right.
By our medical standards, you know.
Yeah, I know, right.
In our world. But you wouldn't be running at full sprint with it blasted off.
You wouldn't be doing anything. You would not be doing. You'd be in a hospital. No way.
Well, which
no
did.
way.
So I think maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Just didn't get it. But
I feel like that was a big lapse in judgment. I mean, if you do
a gust of wind hits me at a weird angle, I'm down for a few seconds. You know what I mean? Yeah.
A gust of wind.
Yeah.
That is not an exaggeration. That is real talk.
Yeah.
This is Geek Off The Street, your go-to channel for all things from obscure geekdom to modern-day pop culture and everything else in between.
What's up, everybody? Hey,
here we are. Here we go.
We're back. We're back once again. My name's Trent.
And my name is Marc.
And this is Geek Off The Street. We're talking about geek culture.
Yes, we do.
Pop culture. And whatever else we want.
Deal with it.
This week is no exception because we're a little bit behind on this one, but
a little bit,
by a few weeks.
But it's worth talking about.
But we're talking about because it's a big. I think it's a pretty big deal.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, we're talking about Gen V.
Yes, on Amazon Prime. If you have not seen it yet,
you should have by now.
Right? Yes.
Yeah, we gave you time.
Yeah, that's what. That's why we waited.
Exactly. We wanted to get a chance to check it out.
Right. Send your thank yous.
Yeah.
But it's a connection. It's a spinoff of The Boys.
Yeah.
We've talked about that before.
Right. Yeah.
With Rocio.
Yeah.
You definitely should have watched the show by now.
Yeah.
But this one is worth watching as well, and that is the topic of this show.
Yeah. But before we do that,
yes.
What are we drinking and how are we doing this week?
Now tell them what we're drinking.
Well, Mark's halfway through his already.
Mark's got a problem.
But we are making a perfectly concocted compound V. That's what we're calling it. But basically, it is full of citron vodka.
Yep.
Rum.
White rum, yes.
Yeah, white rum. Blue curacao.
Yeah, blue curacao.
Some sweet and sour. And topped off with some Blue Edition Red Bull.
Yeah, blueberry.
Edition? Yeah,
okay.
Blueberry Red Bull, yeah. And
there you go.
got some of this bright blue compound V colored
and
cocktail.
My superpower is the ability to drink more.
But yeah, it's a good one.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's lightly carbonated, which is,
nice.
I like. Yeah, it's always nice.
Nice little touch, yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah, most definitely. How are we doing this week? It was Thanksgiving this week.
Yes.
So to everybody out there,
when we're doing this, yes.
Hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. Happier Thanksgiving than I did.
Right. Oh, crap.
Oh, I had to work.
Oh,
yeah. I had to work.
What time were you working? Like, what time to what time?
From 4 to like 1 or 2. Then we go early.
4 a.m.?
Yeah, 4 a.m. to like 1 or 2-ish. I had to go to a different building. My building was closed, so rightfully I should have the day off. But they're like, no, we need to go to another building.
Wow. Man, they love screwing you over.
Love it. They just enjoy it. They really enjoy it. Because I feel like I was just kind of out of spite. Because I went there. There are 3 other supervisors already there. So there's 4 of us there. Warehouse is closed. So there's just a bunch of loaded trailers in the yard that we had to check the temperatures on them every 3 hours. Otherwise, we just sat in the office and did nothing.
Wow.
So I really didn't need to be there.
Wow.
I think. And then they're like, oh yeah, go ahead and take off early. Go enjoy the time with your family. But all my family was in San Diego, so I went home, had a Big Mac, and
oh wow, McDonald's is
and just
open.
just hung out, watched some TV. Got some work done though. Did some work though, which was nice. Cool. But I was just really bothered by it. So didn't have a great Thanksgiving because my job ruins everything, as I said every week.
Wow.
Yeah, but
wow, man, I didn't know you. You could have fucking come over here. Let me tell you what I did.
Yeah.
Actually, I went to somebody's house for Thanksgiving, but you would have been more than welcome.
Oh, good.
I went to my friend, family, Anita and Irma. Went to their house.
Yeah.
Irma is a fan of the show.
Yeah.
A constant. She always has advice when I was over there on Thanksgiving. She said, what you should do? You should do this and this. And I was like, okay, that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
That was a good idea. And then my cousin was there as well, Nikita. And then my sister, Reagan. So it's basically the 5 of us. And then also Anita's technically second cousin, but she calls her niece.
Yeah.
Issa was there as well. I've known her. Issa, I won't say how old she is. Yeah. But I've known her since she was born, essentially.
Okay.
So now she's a grown up. Fantastic cook, fantastic chef.
Awesome.
But she's super sweet. So
sounds pretty great.
Yeah. So it was a good time. We all hung out and ate and chilled, and
that sounds great. Good for you. And I hope you guys all had a good time as well for your Thanksgiving.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. It's always a good time to be around family.
Have a Big Mac.
Or have a Big Mac, which is also great.
Yeah.
Now, my Ariane ended up coming home, and because the building I was at was closer to her place. So I just went to her place after, got a shower, went to the gym.
Okay.
Just like had a little bit. Had some stuff done, got some work done. I'm working on some a thing that I'm probably not gonna talk about yet. Working on a thing.
Business.
Got a lot of the work done on it though, which I was pretty happy about. And the goal was to get this portion done by Thanksgiving. So ended up working out. So I got it done on Thanksgiving Day.
Blessing in disguise.
Yeah. And then Ariana ended up bringing some food from her Thanksgiving. A lot of Filipino dishes, which I was very happy about.
Yeah,
Been eating it for the last 2 days at lunch for work. So
nice.
So yeah, it ended up being okay, but just at the time I was a little bothered by it. What was I saying about that? Oh, anyway, so not so bad, but still, I would have rather had more control over the day.
Sure.
But yeah, shout-outs?
Do a shout out.
Yeah, I always want to shout out to my friend at work, Brianna Irving. She's the security supervisor. So she works in the guard shack, but we're always like close proximity because I work in the yard. So super nice. She commented saying that she likes the way that you mix drinks for the show because, and I quote, "I'm just trying to get drunk." So I don't really
ain't get the time for all that.
Yeah, I don't care so much about the measurements.
She gets it.
And I was like, no, but you gotta get the layers and the flavors, the different things. She's like, no, I don't really care about that. I'm just trying to get drunk. I was like, all right, fair enough. So she likes the way that you mix the drinks. So Bree, thank you. Thanks for checking us out. Super nice. She was super awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, so she was
and you just need the generalities. All these numbers,
sometimes
this numbers fad that people are into.
And I will admit, like 2 out of the 3 times
that
your drinks are fine. You do end up coming out fine, and I'm like, damn it, like why isn't this shit? You know what I mean? Because I don't want it to work like it's as great as like measuring perfectly. But
if it's 1 part to 2 parts, come on.
Just
eyeball it.
The way you made those Loki drinks, though, those are silly, but they still tasted good, though.
It still worked.
Yeah,
still worked.
If you like the taste of absinthe.
Yeah. And then you can always just like, if you don't, you can mess with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Go watch the Loki episode.
Yeah, it's a good,
especially with the mixed drink that we made.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to grab some shout outs here.
All right. While you're doing a shout out, I'm going to mention. A while ago, I think I mentioned. Oh no, I think you mentioned that I don't know if you mentioned that you watch Spaced, or you said you Spaced is on whatever streaming network it was on, and I was like, holy shit, it is. So I ran and watched it, and no, just that one time.
Okay.
But I remember there was an episode where they came back from the club or something like that. I think it's just 3 of them. It was Brian and the other ones. They had that one episode where what she had done is she had like stayed like in the Olympics, or she had stayed fit. She was going to go to the Olympics, and she was like a sportscaster, and she spoke regularly.
Yeah, she's
clear.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, your life.
Yeah.
But anyways, in a nutshell, there was a part where Simon Pegg's character, can't think of his name.
Tim.
That's him. Turns around and says, "Oh, I just remembered. I've got Jaffa cakes in my bag, or I've got Jaffa cakes in my jacket."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Did he a Jaffa cake? What's a Jaffa cake?" So this is what we do here on Geek Off the Street.
Oh wait, what's going on here?
I fucking tracked down Jaffa cakes.
You found Jaffa cakes?
Yes.
Where?
I did what any resourceful person would do. I went to Amazon. I got no idea what a Jaffa cake is.
Yeah.
Because they never showed it. I'm assuming it's just some sort of British dessert, or maybe some sort of European thing. It sounds like it's like Jamaican or something, which there's a big influence in there.
I didn't know.
And it's a random line. It's just a random throwaway line. But he made it sound like it's almost like saying I got Twinkies in my jacket.
Yeah.
So
that's what I originally thought. and then now you have a sleeve of
Right. So this is a Jaffa cake.
I imagine these are gonna be great, but
it's like it looks about a little bit bigger than a Nilla wafer. It looks like a Nilla wafer.
Got a little chocolate on the bottom side?
It's got chocolate on one side, is spongy.
Okay.
And let's take a bite. It's got I'm picking up like a lemony flavor.
Yeah.
There's no filling, but the chocolate inside is more
A jelly kind of thing?
yeah. Oh, I think it's jelly. I think it's a jelly.
Is it like orange? Orangey?
It could be orange.
Not what I was expecting, but
Yeah.
if I was coming home from the club in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
it'd be a great snack.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do one
Yeah, that's
more.
what it is. It's got some sort of a thin stream of some sort of jelly inside of it.
Yeah.
So it's got the spongy cake, there's a little bit of jelly, and the chocolate coating to keep it in, basically.
It is spongy, and I like that texture.
Yeah.
I'm usually not a fruit chocolate guy.
Yeah.
Fruit chocolate guy, but this isn't bad. I would snack on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're ever in a
That's a good grab, dude.
jolly old London town.
Man, I say we when you tracked it down, but like we do some cool things sometimes, man.
We do.
That bring like snacks and things on that
Yeah. So that'll be a reoccurring segment where we bring on some sort of snack food or
From something
something
that we-
from something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to find cornettos, man. I've never been able to see them.
I
but
know,
one of these
I
days
know.
I will. Yeah.
I figure you can't ship cornettos.
yeah, right. Unless like a HelloFresh situation where it's in like a cold container. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm sure there's
Yeah.
an international market somewhere that has them.
Yeah, I'm
maybe,
sure.
but
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, these are
So,
cool.
yeah, we got to track that down.
Yeah, Jaffa cakes. I don't even remember that line now. I'm thinking about it. Now I gotta go back and rewatch the whole show.
I don't even know if I don't even think I barely paid attention the first time I watched the series years ago, but I was watching it again and he was all excited about it. I'm like, what's he so excited about? Like, why he made it sound like he's got this great thing in his bag, like let's get excited. I mean, they're all like drunk and high, but
right.
But yeah, so Jaffa cakes,
Yeah,
everybody.
it's not bad at all. But yeah, let's do some shout outs.
Yep.
Quick shout out to my buddy Chris Hansen. He was one of my buddies that work at Amazon in Washington.
Oh, nice.
He doesn't work there anymore now, I imagine. But
He escaped. Good job.
yeah, he was cool. He's a cool guy. He was like, if you were to look at him and talk to him, you would not think this guy was into comic books.
Yeah.
But this guy knew his shit though.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Chris Hansen was, he was cool, man. He was like it. I don't know if he's gonna hear this, but he's a little bit of a tough guy, you know.
Oh yeah, cool. Cool.
But man, he knew his shit, man. We would have conversations every day
Wow.
about comic books, or even like coming up with our own heroes. Like he had ideas and stuff. He had some good ideas that were pretty cool too.
Interesting.
But yeah, so he commented on the thing about Kang. Kang, he was saying that he agrees that the dude acts weird. Basically, is what he said. And he said, I was like, so I was trying to clarify what he was saying, but he said, I mean, like, why does this big bad motherfucker have his grand plan having him come off like it's driving him a little insane? Like I said, his grand plan is driving him insane. Maybe, yeah. This doesn't make sense to me to know what you're doing with this plan. Yeah, having these weird text and characteristics come from it. He's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't trust my all-powerful beings having stress tics. That's also a good point.
I get it.
Also a good point. But he was saying that he was like kind of like a it was weird also.
Yeah.
The way he acts. But Will, Author Will, he thinks he's good. He likes his acting.
Yeah.
Because he was saying that he watched Lovecraft Country. And he said he was similar in that.
That's great in that.
Yeah.
He's great in that.
So he said he's like, that's just how he
he's
acts.
very normal in that, yeah.
Okay, so I was like, okay, maybe I just don't like his acting then. But
yeah.
but he was,
I think his acting in that role is a good way to put it. Lovecraft Country, it's really good.
Okay.
It's on HBO or Max or whatever.
That was one I really wanted to watch, just never got around to it. But yeah.
Yeah, that one's actually good. Yeah, so he was good in that. And I assume that's the reason why he got this gig, because he was so good in that, and I think he got a lot of praise for that role he did. So it would be nice to see a second season of Lovecraft Country. We'll see what happens, but I think it's just that role. Yeah, he was playing it pretty out there. But I imagine too, in theory, he is maybe supposed to be playing like, I don't know, 10 different versions, 20 different versions of this character. So he's probably just finding some other
way to play each one.
Him. Yeah,
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
but.
and for me, it got better as the season progressed. It started off, it felt very fake. It felt very mechanical, and we talked about that. But yeah, that's neither here nor there.
But anyway, thanks, Chris. Thanks, Will.
Yeah, thanks guys for commenting.
Yeah, thanks for checking us out. Shout out to R Brew Larry for following us. I think R Brew is my buddy Mark, the chef. I think it's his buddy's brewery out in Redlands, and it's actually an amazing brewery.
Really?
Yeah. So I think he followed us. So thanks, Larry. Not sure if I met you, but thanks for following us.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
Get Your Comic Con. Thanks for following us. There were a couple others. Where was he at? The guy, Aaliyah's boyfriend.
Chris?
Yeah, I think he followed us as well, but I can't. Chris Milano, that's him.
I don't know his last name.
Yeah,
I just know him as that guy.
Picture of him with Aaliyah, so I'm assuming that's him.
His profile picture.
Oh yeah, you see this?
No, murder him.
That is, he only has 2 pictures. It's this one with him and Aaliyah. I guess going to prom maybe or some dance.
I think some sort of winter thing.
Winter formal.
God, why is she looking at him? I'm like, kill both of them.
She's a little too happy to be with him.
Yeah, no, he's a good guy.
And he's a pitcher in baseball, so
yeah, he is. He does play baseball. I think he played at Angels Stadium with something. So he's actually pretty good.
So he plays.
Yeah, he plays.
Chris, thanks for checking us out. The most important thing is he followed us on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
He's cool. Yeah, he's a good kid.
Cool.
I like him.
Solid. But yeah, that's basically it. Thanks for following us. Thanks for checking out the show. And if you guys want to get a shout out, check us out at the Gots Pod on Instagram, TikTok, all the ones. Geek Off The Street Geek Off The Street on YouTube and Facebook. Yeah, you can choose up. Yeah, getting another pour there.
Yeah,
before we get into the show.
Power's kicking in. I don't know why I did Mario, but ¿Quieres más?
Oh yeah. ¿Quieres más?
Red Bull. Splash on top.
Oh. That's not how you say Red Bull in Spanish, I would imagine. But yeah.
Red Bull O.
Pouring another round here. Perfect.
Red Toro Rojo.
Hey, there it is. That's how you say it.
Toro Rojo. That's what they call it in Mexico. Like, no, it's called Red Bull, you stupid son of a bitch.
Anyway, we'll get into the show, right? We should get into the show? Yeah, it's been a minute. We should get into the show. So, again, we're talking about Gen V, which is the spinoff of The Boys. Yeah. Basically about some young adults in college.
College age.
Godolkin University, or as better known as God U. Yeah, it's like a superhero university. And there's a big old mystery, bunch of stuff going on, as you can guess, because there's always stuff behind the scenes in the superhero world in The Boys. And that's basically it.
Yeah. And the main character is a girl whose power kicked in when she was about 12, I think she said. 10 or 12?
10 or 12, yeah.
But her power is controlling blood. So she's like a bloodbender kind of thing in a very basic way. I mean, she uses it to kind of whip things or whatever. But it's kind of it's a disgusting power, for the most part, in all honesty. So it doesn't, quote unquote, play very well, because the superhero world that these guys are in, The Boys, Gen V, there's a lot of sponsors.
Yeah.
It's
very about marketability.
Televised. Yeah, it's all about marketability in that world. So that's not a very marketable thing. Like when she uses her attacks, like there's blood splattered all over the place. I'm like, that's gross. I don't want to see that. But yeah, so she really comes from nothing, very humble beginnings, and she has an opportunity to make her dreams come true, essentially, at this university, but she has these obstacles that she's dealing with.
Yeah, gets caught up in this big old conspiracy, this underground lab testing soups, and the woods, and big old big conspiracy going on, and that's basically it. She meets up with some.
She meets some other soups, naturally.
Students, and they're all obsessed with this top 10, basically. Yeah, this Vought and all these, they know how to play this game, man. Like putting all them against each other by trying to compete for this top 10 thing, and how important that is to who you become after. Man, it's pretty crazy. I love the politics of this show. It's really
that's a big factor. Like, the whole the corporate aspect.
Yeah, big
of this world is very real.
big commentary on the world and like whether it's celebrities or athletes or the people that are in power. There's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes, I think.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah.
So. And it's weird because there are a lot of products out there that show like superheroes right now. Like, you could almost on some level compare it to My Hero Academia, right? That is very tame and mild compared to, for in some aspects compared to Gen V. It reminded me of, I can't remember the name of the comic book series that came out like in the 90s. It was, I don't think it might have been X-Force actually, but essentially what it is, they were mutants that had powers that weren't very pretty. They weren't very cool. Like there was a guy who could, expand his skin. So it was pretty weird, pretty disgusting. There's another character named Husk that his power, he blew his bottom, the bottom part of his face off essentially. So it's just the top part of his body or a top part of his face, and then just this energy, erupting.
Wow.
So it looked cool.
Yeah.
But so it was that kind of show. It reminded me of that, like the not so glamorous side of the superhero world. And that's what Gen V kind of gets into, especially with the main character. Yeah. Because her power isn't anything, really glamorous, But so likes and dislikes. What do you like about this?
I liked one thing I really did notice. This probably isn't the biggest like, but all the acting was really good.
Yeah.
All around. I feel like the boys generally they've been casting people that can perform.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I think it's Seth Rogen's company, Seth Rogen and Evan Gold's company
you can see
that
Seth
produces
Rogen's
it, right?
name on that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was pretty impressed with each cast member's performances. The acting was believable, I think, all across the board for the most part.
Even Arnold Schwarzenegger's son?
Who was he?
Golden Boy.
Oh, that was his son?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's a Golden Boy in that show. I think his name is Patrick.
Schwarzenegger?
Yes.
Ah.
He is Arnold Schwarzenegger's son.
Really?
Yeah. And Maria Shriver. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he wasn't in much of it, but
he wasn't.
Yeah, but he
still did a good job.
I think he did a good job. Yeah, I think he did. Yeah. Sorry, but that was pretty solid. I think. Danny, you pause it, you go?
Oh, let's see. I do like how the show. It seems like they really refuse to hold anything back. Like if they want to get graphic, and not that you're necessarily into the graphic, because there is a pretty graphic scene with little cricket.
Oh yeah,
which is not great.
Yeah,
but but I mean they don't shy away from it. They don't hold back. So
yeah,
I like how gritty. And that's like kind of like a common term or a phrase people throw around. But this isn't it's not a pretty world that these people are in. And none of the characters, which is really cool too, none of the heroes that we're following in this show are perfect. They all have some sort of flaws, or they all have some sort of weakness, or they all have some sort of moment where they should do the right thing and they don't. Yeah. I think it seems like all of them have that, point. Yeah. So that's one thing I like about it too. It's
true. None of them are all good or all bad.
Right.
Really. Yeah. They're really a product of this world.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it's about either playing the game or hold on to your morals, but getting nothing,
Yeah. And you get nothing, or you end up, there's no telling where you end up. I mean, and the whole point of this university is like you either go into crime fighting or you go into entertainment. Yeah. So you have people that are at this school, that are doing two very different things, but they're all going to the same school, and it's all even going into crime fighting. It's going to be about your marketability, like you were saying. Yeah,
that's true, man. That's what I love about this universe in general is that aspect of it. It's like it's not like it's really just the superheroes are the celebrities or the athletes of this world. Like it's how likable are you or marketable are you? Not necessarily likable, because you could be the bad boy or whatever, and you're still marketable. And it's kind of like you see all these games that have to be played in this world to get to where you want to be, and that reflects in the superhero world, and like it's not at all about saving people or protecting people.
Mhm.
I mean, that's a part of it, you know. That's a
but
byproduct of it.
That's like
not
secondary.
Yeah,
if that.
Yeah, it's not. But none of the main heroes are good.
Yeah.
Necessarily, most of the 7 are pieces of shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
And most of the heroes in general, they're just bad. They're bad. They have all the power, but they're not good. You know?
Yeah.
So,
They're definitely I don't know, jaded celebrities, or they're like young celebrities essentially, and they and they abuse.
Yeah, abuse that power.
Have,
yeah,
you know?
And I love that. That's like that's the premise of this world. You know, that's what drew me to the Boys in general, in the like in the beginning. So, but I liked most of the characters were pretty 3-dimensional, which I really enjoyed. Like Cricket's story, I thought was really
same here.
Like a great commentary on that type of lifestyle, and you know. There's an excuse. Oh, I'm doing it because of this, because of my power. I have to do it, you know. And but really, there is some underlying issues there. When you meet her mom too, the mom perpetuated a lot of that lifestyle, you know. And it was like her story grew on me much more as you see her, you know, more and more. And each of the characters had their own their own issues, you know. Like even like Andre's character with his dad, I thought was really good. Even Jordan's relationship their parents. So each of them had a lot of layers, which I thought was really, really good for character development.
Right. Yeah. And that whole thing with Jordan too, Jordan's power, which I thought was really cool. Jordan switched between being male and female. Yeah. And they got a different power whenever they switched. Like when Jordan, the female version of Jordan had like some sort of energy projection. Oh yeah. And then the male version was like strong, and durable. Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I thought that concept was very cool. It's almost like Legion a little bit. Oh yeah. You know, from the X-Men. Yeah. Charles Xavier's son, which that's really nuts. Yeah. But Legion's great. That's a whole other thing. But I love that. I love that concept. But also, it seemed like they were trying to, and they did it, I think, in a more subtle way. It wasn't so much pandering. Yeah,
because it could have been. Yeah.
It could have been. It could have 100% gone that way. But they kept it. They kept it very simple, and they didn't dwell on it, and they didn't beat you over the head with it. Exactly, which is that's the trick. Not to do that.
That's the right way. This was the right way to do it.
Right. Yeah.
And if you're gonna have a commentary on, I don't know, non-binary person or something. I'm not sure that's the right term. I apologize if it's not. Right. But I'm trying here, guys. I'm trying. And this is the right way to do it. To really show this is like if she was the focus of the entire show, and that's the main commentary of the show, then I see what you guys are doing. Right. But that's not the only issue. Like they're kind of going into different areas of commentary with each of the characters. Yeah. Which I think was great. I think it was fantastic. Yeah. So this is like the way to do it. Yeah. If you're gonna do it.
So they talk about that. Even they kind of sorta, not really, but they do kind of talk about bulimia a little bit, with little Cricket. Yeah. I mean, that's just the way her power worked, at least until the end. It seems like maybe her power works a different way. Right. Yeah. That she hopefully figured out, because that'd be a terrible way. Horrible. But that's what people, with that disorder, that's what they do on a regular basis. So it makes sense that that's what she would do on a regular basis. And then it gets into this whole thing, like you're saying, with her mom. Yeah, was the one that showed her how to first do it. And she's one of these pageant moms or whatever whatever moms you call them, stage moms.
Yeah, and it's very that's very similar to like rationalizing it, right? Like, well, this is normal behavior because of X, Y, and Z. Yeah. Well, in either way, it's not healthy or not good. It's not a good situation to be in. Yeah. So, yeah.
Who is your favorite character?
That is tough.
That's why I asked it. I asked those hard hitting questions.
That's a tough one, man. Yeah, I don't know. Favorite character? Like of the main characters, maybe, give or take?
Yeah. You want to go with the soups or just, we'll say the whole show.
I think, I don't know. I kind of liked Andre a lot. I thought his character, probably not the biggest issue of them all, but I think as far as acting, as far as pressure of living up to expectations, especially with his dad being a very famous hero.
You're right.
And then also dealing with the fact that his power kills him. Like it has.
Oh yeah,
the
he finds that out later.
Yeah, yeah, dealing with just dealing with that whole world, you know. And then I thought I don't know, I really enjoyed following his character throughout the whole story.
Yeah, and he did a great job. He's again talking about the acting.
Yeah, very talented actor.
Yeah,
I've seen. I feel like
acting,
I don't know if I've seen him anywhere else, but
I can't think.
He
of
was
anything,
very fantastic, very good in this.
Yeah.
I liked him. I'd probably say Andre's my favorite character. I think. Yeah,
and as far as Andre is concerned, I did like his, up until, I don't know, maybe midway through or a little bit past midway, he seemed to me like he was the real hero of the show. He was the most, for lack of it, he was the most noble one. You know what I mean? He was trying to find out what was going on. He was trying to not avenge his friend's death, but find out the cause of it, find out what really happened, what was going on. He was, he was being that dutiful friend trying to find out.
He's even putting his future at jeopardy to figure this out.
Big time. I feel like they were trying, but for whatever reason, I felt like they were trying to, it felt like they were trying to besmirch him or whatever. Later on towards the end of it, you find out he's been, spoilers in 3, 2, 1, that he was cheating with his best friend's girlfriend. You know, and I don't know how long that was going on, but it seemed like it was going on quite a while.
Yeah, long enough.
Long enough
for it to be wrong. Right. Yeah.
And I was, so to speak, I was okay with it when you first see it happening, right? Because I looked at that like they're both in mourning, right? So I mean, this is whatever they're both trying to. I looked at it like they were trying to comfort each other more than anything else.
That's exactly what I thought.
That's what I thought. But then they turned it, flipped it into, this has been going on for a long time. So now they turned Andre into this piece of shit. And he was the good guy. Really, he was the most noble one, because even the main character. Let me look and see what her name is. Marie. Yes.
Marie Moreau.
Yeah. Because Marie is, she is the protagonist essentially of the show. But you find out, she does some questionable stuff too. She has an opportunity to tell the truth about, what happens on the campus with Golden Boy. Yeah. And she just decides to accept the glory of it. Yeah. Which on some levels I get, but if you're supposed to be this, noble person that she was portraying herself to be,
that's why I say people.
Then you should have done the right thing. And that's okay that she didn't, because it shows that she is human. It shows that she is not perfect.
Right, especially for someone to come from nothing to having everything, kind of everything. Or a
it was
taste
getting
of it.
handed to her.
A taste of everything right there at the beginning.
And she was ready to lose it in that first episode. Yeah. Towards the end of it, it was all about to get taken away from her. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe that makes you want to hang on to it even more so. Now that I think about it like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? But like I said, Andre was the most noble one, essentially, so to speak. And then, like I said, then they kind of did that whole thing with him and the girlfriend. Him and Kate, and just kind of flipped. But I think my favorite character might be Cricket, or whatever her name is.
Yeah. She was definitely a close second for me. Yeah. Especially as the show got on. I thought she was comic relief.
Right.
That's what
comic relief. Or some sort of like I'll always love you kind of thing. And she was like that at some points. Yeah. But when it goes on, she does step into the hero role a bit more. And that's not what she was there for, but that's what she ends up doing and becoming. But her story overall was, her story overall was great. I thought, I loved it.
Yeah, and I'm trying, her, morally, she seemed like probably the best one out of all of them. Yeah,
exactly. She really never really wavered. I mean, but maybe she didn't have a real reason to. But when she was, whenever she was confronted with anything, that's interesting. I was going to say, whenever she was confronted with anything, she kind of held her ground. I was thinking more along the lines with Sam, trying to bring him back. She's still very, she's somewhat passive. Yeah.
And so sort of people pleaser.
Exactly.
Pleaser. Yeah. Kind of people pleaser kind of. And you see that, but it comes from her upbringing, I think, I imagine.
And she played it that way throughout, which was great.
Right.
There was never some moment where she turned into some crazy badass. Yeah. She played that way the whole time. Right. And when she saved Sam, I loved it. I loved that she, not just that she physically saved him, but she kind of emotionally saved him too, because that saved her as well, because she was going through so much crap between school and the bullying and like the video being leaked revealing her secrets or whatever. The guy that used her, you know, she was going through so much shit.
Yeah.
And then when she saves this guy, she found someone that was genuine with her, and they didn't want anything from her, didn't expect anything from her, and wasn't using her for anything. So when she saved him, that saved her as well. And that was like, man, that's beautiful. I love that. I love that. I mean, it takes a
which makes the turn even more tragic, you know?
Right.
What I mean?
Yeah. So it makes you feel even worse for her.
Yeah.
I thought that turn was a bit much, but maybe he was coming off of the meds, and maybe he was coming back to, you know, whatever, you know, normalcy is him.
Yeah.
You know, but considering this is the person that, you know, basically saved him from this hell that he was trapped in.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, blew his mind in a lot of different ways. I'm not saying nothing about nothing. So I feel like he should have had more loyalty to her. I feel like that would have been the case. I don't feel like.
But Kate was hot, and she could push people. So
yeah, I mean, and there was the push, but. All right, now we're taking a whole different tangent.
but he did switch
pretty
quick, just from going to one rally, and it's just like, I'm gonna kill
and all of a
everybody.
sudden, these guys are my friends. I've known them for a little while, but this is the girl that, you know, saved me. I'm just gonna say it. Spoiler in 3, 2, 1. Took my virginity. All this kind of shit. I mean, there would be a sense of loyalty to this person. That's the only person you know. You know what I mean? It's almost like, you know, if someone brings you to a party or something where you don't know what's going on, you know, you stick close to the person that brought you, kind of thing, just as a security blanket,
right?
You know, just, you know, so you don't feel lost. And then for him to, you know, kind of turn on her, I felt that was a bit much, but you know, it's all good. But
things got kind of rushed there towards the end of the series.
Exactly.
For sure. A lot of things happened.
That's a good way to put it.
They were kind of rushed. That I agree 100%. So yeah.
I did, but yeah, all the characters I liked. I did like Kate too. You know, she was always suspect number one for me. Like she can control people with her mind.
The amount of power she had.
Man, I didn't trust her at all.
Yeah,
but as the show went on, by like episode 2, I think I was like, okay, maybe she's okay. But then I think you find out by episode 3 or 4, she's not.
Yeah.
It's like, you got me.
Yeah, she's done the whole time. And then like it seems like she kind of switches back.
Right.
Like she's like, I'm sorry, because it seems like it's breaking her down. Like having to hold this lie and everything, which I was like, okay, well then I'm sympathetic towards you again.
Exactly.
And then she goes like full, you know.
Yeah. She goes full Carrie and just
starts massacring everybody. Yeah, which is great to see her powers like fully actualized, which was awesome. I was like, oh, this is like Jean Grey. She's like,
exactly.
Messing people up.
Jean Grey / rogue.
Maybe
not rogue, but yeah.
Well,
the whole touching aspect.
Exactly. I see that. Definitely. Yeah. So she was cool, I thought.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. Everybody in that show is great. And I would love to see Marie. I would like to see her powers become more than. Well, I mean, you start to see some of her power. You know, she does something later on in the show that she didn't know she could do. So maybe her powers are expanding. And I mean, I don't want to see hopefully just her like whipping blood around or her blowing stuff up. But I mean, we've seen other IPs out there where you see people like using blood in different ways. You know, again, Avatar,
Avatar's great.
Airbender,
that was great.
Right?
Yeah,
the blood bending. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
and that even has a role later on.
Yeah,
in it. And then when you use that power, and the people get all twisted. I'm like,
so creepy, man.
It's very creepy. Very creepy.
They animated that so well.
Yeah,
and with the background, it was like dark and creepy. Yeah, that's creepy as hell. Man.
Solid.
Yeah,
but then
but you do kind of find out that she has the same power as the senator. You know,
right. And which I guess I should have realized that when she popped the head.
Yeah. And
that's like if I'm going to slide into a dislike.
Which head? Though?
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
But I'm going to dive into this like when that happened to that character, I feel like, okay, he's off the show now.
He showed up at a party the next day.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Like,
aren't you?
Yeah, didn't that just happen to you? I'm gonna let that be a surprise for you. You'll love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and if they have someone that can heal on the campus, makes sense.
Yeah,
but show it.
Yeah.
Let us know that there is a healer there, because otherwise, that guy showed up like
the
next day at a party.
The party next day.
No, you're in the hospital.
He's walking around in the campus talking to the dean, like everything's fine. He runs away from them.
How are you able to
walk?
How
are you not? Yeah. Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah. You didn't do your homework on that, guys. You didn't think it through.
Here's why though. And this isn't I'm not throwing any shade here, but every single person that wrote or directed an episode was female.
Okay, I didn't pay attention to that.
They were all female. Everybody, I think they did that on purpose. Like, I think Seth Rogen or who they wanted this to be like completely helmed by a female crew,
because there's a female lead.
Yeah, that too. But I think I don't know, just the diversity or whatever, or just just to get a different voice for the show.
Yeah.
So maybe they don't realize,
they don't know how it works,
how that kind of damage will feel to it. Yeah.
It's not even like how it's not even like the feel aspect. It's like the fact that physically was like destroyed. Not maybe not completely. It wasn't completely destroyed, enough of it.
Enough of it.
Yeah, I don't think that thing's gonna be working right for a while.
Yeah, or ever. If you,
right.
By our medical standards,
Yeah, I know. Right.
Yeah, in our world. But you wouldn't be running at full sprint, with it blasted off.
You wouldn't be doing anything. You would not be doing. You'd be in a hospital. No way. No way.
So I think maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Just didn't get it. But
I feel like that was a big lapse in judgment. I mean, if you do
a gust of wind hits me at a weird angle, I'm down for a few seconds. You know what I mean? Yeah.
A gust of wind.
Yeah.
That is not an exaggeration. That is real talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was you guys
dropped the ball a little bit there.
Dropped the ball a little bit there, big time. I think we talked about too, again, dropping the ball, like towards the end it felt very rushed.
Yeah, a lot of things happen, a lot of changes,
just like bam kind of thing.
And I know they're trying to like get like the escalation from that rally and like it's gonna cause chaos. Let's just throw everything in, but it was rushed, very rushed. Right. I was kind of like surprised. I was like, oh, okay, so now Kate's just having everybody kill everybody.
Now Kate's just,
that was fast.
Completely psycho now.
Yeah, so, but it was a little rush at the end. Yeah.
Any other negatives? Do you have any other positives? Because I kind of dipped into the negatives already.
Not necessarily. Jumping into the negatives, and this, I don't know, I can't really say. So I didn't like just love the show. Yeah. Like, but I don't really. And this might be a little controversial, but I don't really love the Boys show either.
Interesting.
I don't love it. Like, the first season was cool. Second season kind of dragged for me. The third season, obviously took a side. Yeah. I think, if we're talking about politics and stuff, it obviously took a side, and I was like, okay, I see what you guys are doing now. Like, if you guys are gonna be a satire, be a satire. But don't satirize one side.
I think you said that before.
I think that was my major negative for season 3 when we talked about it with Rocio. And so I think it just like overall, I think I don't like The Boys as much as I wanted to. Like, this show is right up my alley. It should be perfect for me, but I think it just isn't executed quite the way I was hoping it would be, based on reading the comics and being like really enjoying this property. Yeah. So with that said, it kind of felt like this is what I think. How I'm trying to word this, like people that say like, oh, you're just trying to be edgy, like how people describe Man of Steel or Zack Snyder's movies. Oh, you're just trying to be edgy, like not with any substance. This is what I feel like they're actually talking about.
Yeah, this is being edgy without enough substance.
Yeah, just being edgy to be edgy, right? That's just the biggest shock factor for the hell of it.
Yeah, and that is in there, definitely.
Yeah, and this is what I feel like is that description. Not Man of Steel, because Man of Steel to me has a little more substance to it. The Boys, the series, have been more like, let's just throw as much shock factor, as much gore in there, and people are gonna love it because it's
I think they've got a lot of positive feedback. I think because of the shock value.
Most definitely.
Yeah,
but
so they're leaning into it. Yeah,
right. Which is fine if that's what your thing is. But I'm gonna say that like I'm sure 95 or 98% of people that love this show are gonna say I love it because it's so gory or so shocking, and so it's so much different than every other superhero thing that we see because of the violence. And I think that's an accurate estimate, to say what people are going to love about the show. But take that away from it, if that shock value isn't in it, the show is kind of, it's okay. Storytelling's okay. Characters, I mean, in this, Gen V characters are great, I think. But, I mean, take that part out of it, there's not much more to the series, I feel like, I think. So... Whereas the comic book, I haven't finished the comic book, but there's a little more going on, I think, with like the boys, particularly, versus in the show. And I just kind of feel like tonally, or not tonally, but like style-wise, it's similar to that series. So I kind of just felt like I was kind of watching just a tween-age version of the boys when it came to this show.
Yeah, that might be.
So, and that actually kind of leads me into, like, I couldn't really get into the tween drama stuff. It kind of felt like high school stuff to me in a lot of ways.
Like some of the relationships.
Yeah, relationship stuff I don't really care for, I guess. This feels really high school drama to me. But, I mean, which is, I guess that's what you're trying to do with Gen V. But, yeah, it was just like I wanted to enjoy it more. But it just, it was cool. It was cool. Right. It was good. There were a lot of great moments in it. But overall, it just kind of felt like tween-age boys. Prime series.
And that's... I mean, you could definitely make the argument that that's what they were going for, I'm going to say that I'm going to disagree.
Naturally.
I mean, I feel, and maybe I'm just part of that 6%. You said like 94% people. I don't know what you said, but I'm going to say that I'm maybe part of that demographic, that small number that liked it. Outside of the gore or the shock value and all that kind of, silly stuff that they do in that. And I agree. A lot of people are going to like it for that reason. They're going to laugh and giggle and do all the, dumb, stuff or whatever. I feel like even if you took all that craziness out that they love showing, that I still would have enjoyed the show. I think mainly because this might be some of the better superhero content that we've gotten in a while. So
100%,
yeah. So for that reason, I think I like it. I like it for that reason, just because it's some good superhero content. Some parts of the story, they feel like, and this, goes into a negative that I have. I feel like some of the characters, they have moments where it feels like Maria as the main character has to come off, she has to be the one that, wins the argument or whatever kind of thing. Like, I don't personally need to see the main character always being right, especially when she's new to this world. She didn't even have a cell phone growing up. I mean, that's how out of touch she is with this world. And then for her to be thrown into the spotlight within that college, maybe a little bit more of like the deer in the headlights aspect would have been more appropriate,
Yeah, I feel like she wouldn't be able to respond to this world the way that she did with her upbringing,
Right.
So I'm sure she has I don't know, but growing up an orphan, from that trauma, that I'm sure she blames herself for. I don't think she would be as well adjusted as she came off as in the show. I think
that's a very interesting.
I think she'd have
there.
a lot more issues, and I'm sure she wouldn't respond to what happens in the show as well as she did, unless she's just a really level-headed person.
Just
naturally or genetically or whatever the case is. But she was very, very good at responding to all these situations.
Yeah, she took a lot of that with a grain of salt. For the most part. Really.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, I guess she did.
Yeah, there were moments.
Yeah, I guess that when she ends up finding out that being a hero in this world isn't what she thought it was, like that hit her in the face, and I thought that was great. But things,
and she does kind of break down a little bit, not crying, but she breaks down with the dean. you know, the dean was really great at manipulating people.
Yeah.
You know, she manipulated Kate, manipulated her.
Yeah.
You know, and that I like, that made sense. You know, the dean is a person that's in the Vought world.
Yeah.
You know, she knows how things move and shake. So when these kids come along, she knows how to play them for the most part, you know, which I thought was cool. That
was great. Yeah. And she's a great character. Yeah.
Yeah. I know one character that I thought was really cool, but then they just decided to make him weird, just, you know, just because it'd be funny, I guess, is that detective character that they brought on.
Oh, Tech Knight?
Yeah, Tech Knight. That guy was great, man.
Yeah.
I loved him.
Yeah, that was almost going to be a negative for me because Tech Knight in the comic book is very different from that character in the show.
Interesting, really.
Like, he's not this investigative guy. He's like a Iron Man type, War Machine type character with all these like weapons and stuff.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense. Tech Knight, that makes sense.
Yeah, but he does have the freaking that sex obsession where he has to bang every hole.
That's the only thing they took.
Yeah, that's the only thing they took. Is that once I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, I guess they're drawing something in the comic book.
Yeah,
it is Tech Knight.
Everything else, no, but
because it gets really dark, like, or not dark, but like it's kind of comical. It's like ridiculous, but like he is like just putting in every hole he can find, and then like he's like a psychiatrist, and it's pretty. He's like, well, what about Tech Lad or whatever? Because he has like a young boy.
Tech Lad.
He's like, what Tech Lad's like, no, I would never do that to a underage child. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
And then there's like one moment where he shows up in his costume. He's like, where are we going today, Tech Knight? And he's like, you gotta go. He's like, you gotta go on a year-long journey and get out of here. and then his ending is pretty weird, but like he ends up basically stopping an asteroid that has a giant hole in it.
Oh, Lord.
And then, he's a hero, but he's sick, though. He's sick in his mind.
Geez.
So they didn't, anyways, the point that they didn't pull that part from it.
Yeah.
But I really did like, even though he's completely different from the comic book character,
Right.
I did like what they did with him in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
That's a whole different character.
Whole different
essentially.
character,
Yeah,
but
the only thing
I-
they kept was the name.
Yeah.
And the fetish. Yeah.
in the finish, but I did enjoy the actor
Yeah.
and what he did in the show.
Yeah. And I love that part where he's talking to Kate and she starts to take her glove off. He's like, you take that glove off, I'm going to cut your hand. All right, take your hand.
Take your hand,
Yeah, I'm going to take your hand.
Right,
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, good. Tech Knight.
Yeah.
And then he could tell that Andre had sex with Kate.
Yeah.
You know, he could, like, it was almost like if you've ever seen, and if you haven't seen this, check this out. The Sherlock Holmes on BBC, played by Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
That Sherlock Holmes is maybe one of the latest iterations or reiterations, whatever you call it, of Sherlock Holmes, and it's great because he, like Sherlock Holmes, he picks up on all these different things.
Yeah.
And that's what Tech Knight does. He can
Right.
tell, like, the moment you start to sweat a little bit, or the moment you start to your eyes dilate a
or
little
like
bit.
The adrenaline comes into your vein.
Right.
Yeah.
He can tell all that stuff, and he can call you on your bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, I thought, man, that was so
That was awesome, yeah.
fun to watch.
Yeah.
That was fun to watch.
Super
man.
dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love, he was also kind of full of shit too, though. You know.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
Or
Yeah.
like a shitty person. You know.
Right.
Like they all are in this
Yeah,
world.
when he shows up in the woods, I'm like, dude, what are you going to like the middle of the woods
Yeah.
to meet somebody?
Yeah.
You want to get killed?
Right.
I was like, okay, well, Tech Knight's dead,
Yeah.
but he lived,
Yeah.
and then he fucked the woods.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Any other negatives you had, or?
I was trying to see where Marie and I don't know what their name
Jordan?
is. Jordan, yeah. When did they like fall for each other? When did sparks? I don't remember seeing or feeling that. You know, they had a somewhat confrontational start.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe that's where it could have possibly started.
That
I don't
kind
know,
of
but
tension that
I felt like there was no attraction between the two. Even when they went to the club, they didn't really talk to each other. Not really. You know?
Yeah, it was really because in the male form, he showed up at her dorm, and then all of a sudden it just turned into some makeout section. Session.
Right.
And then the next time after their minds get wiped, they wake up in bed together. You know, I was like, oh, well, where's all this coming from?
Right.
You know, yeah.
Okay, so I'm
Yeah,
not crazy. I'm like, did I?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can take it as like it started out as tension and maybe became sexual tension, I guess.
But I mean, even if that's the case, I mean,
it's still
it still
wasn't great.
Or if that was the case, they did not show it well. in the series. I
agree.
Make the argument. You know?
Yeah, I agree. It seems kind of like shoehorned a little bit to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like conversations like, oh, well, do you like Jordan? Yeah, I want to be with them. I was like, wow, when did that happen?
Yeah, why?
When did you decide that?
She treated you like shit when you first met her, him, them.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
But, we're getting canceled after this. People are really, really up in arms about that. Yeah. Did you see they're trying to cancel Jimmy Fallon because he called a transgender female person buddy or bud? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm so proud of you, bud, for getting this role in the new Hunger Games movie. And then everyone got all pissed off. Like, that's a male term. And I was like,
anybody can be your bud. Anybody can be your buddy.
But there's like videos of him calling Taylor Swift bud and like other females bud, and everyone's like, so some people are like, well, why are you making a big deal about it?
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Man, okay, now we're really gonna get canceled. But you're not helping your case.
Yeah.
When you do that kind of shit where you attack every little thing when you know there is no malice behind what he said.
Like when you're reaching.
When you're reaching like that,
it's like you're not. It's like that great meme where it's like, how does this offend me? You know what I mean? Like where the girl's like, she's like, how does this offend me? You know, it's like now you're reaching. You know, I'm not gonna say that there aren't bigots out there.
There are 100%.
They're truly full of hate, and that's not cool.
Definitely.
That's not cool because live and let live. You know, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, there are some keyboard warriors out there that are trying a little too hard.
Right.
Throw people under the bus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean. Man, I mean, I'm for, like you said, live and let live. I'm for everybody. I want everybody to be able to do whatever they want, and live whatever they want. Yeah. But you're not winning people
to your cause.
Yeah, when you do stuff like that. So, weigh the stuff out, man.
Yeah,
pick and choose your battles.
You know how happy I'd be if Jimmy Fallon called me bud. Like, hey, bud.
Yeah, no, right?
I'd be like, yeah. I'm your bud. Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon.
Anyway, but anyway,
Jimmy Fallon's like the evil in the world that we need to fight.
Yeah, of the people. And then there's some stuff about Jimmy Fallon, about his working conditions, whatever. There's
always
controversies in there and stuff, like, but whatever.
When they got Ellen on that.
Yeah, they busted her too.
Yeah. But calling somebody bud is not going to get Jimmy Fallon. It's the working conditions. That's going to get you, Jimmy.
Right, yeah.
That's going to get you.
But at the end of the day, I laugh sometimes at some of the stuff he says, and I guess I'm cool. But
yeah.
Anyway, so any other negatives you had about the show?
Not really. I think I talked about most of them. Some of the, I feel like they, Marie kind of came out on top of arguments that sometimes I wasn't a big fan of that. I feel like some of the tension between these main characters was kind of amped up.
Yeah.
Just for dramatic.
Drama.
Just to add the
dramatic
drama.
Effect. Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
So I'm not a big fan of that.
Mm-hmm.
But overall,
you live a very dramatic free life, Mark. So
that is not a joke, man.
Yeah.
That is, man.
I live a very drama-filled life.
And you love it.
And
no, I don't. Don't at all.
I live a very drama-filled life. A lot of it's self-imposed. But I don't enjoy watching drama so much on TV.
Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah, especially my superhero shows. Just want to see pow, bang, boom.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And just do it in a decent way. That's not gonna insult my intelligence.
Right, yeah.
I want to see the pow bang boom.
Yeah.
I want to see the lasers and the capes.
Yeah.
But don't just do it and think you don't have to come up with a decent story that makes sense.
And there's drama, but there's also melodrama, and sometimes it kind of bled into melodrama.
Yeah. Yes, it did.
Yeah,
yes, it did. Very well said. Very well said. So, all right. So, what do you give the show?
I there was a lot of things I liked about it. I did enjoy it. Overall, it was worth a watch.
Right.
So I'm probably sitting at like a 76, 77. Solid watch. Definitely not going to be a show that's going to change much. But it is in the Boys universe. It's a segue from season 3 to season 4 of the Boys. Apparently, is what it looks like. And it's a fun watch overall. But didn't change my life. So I'm thinking 75, 76, something in there. If I was gonna rate it, stream it for sure.
Okay.
Stream it, yeah.
Okay.
100%, yeah.
I will say I'm going to say drop what you're doing and watch it because I thought it was really good.
Okay.
I feel like there were more highs than lows.
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean there were some lows. Mm-hmm. There were some things that didn't jive, that didn't make sense, that they could have done better. But I feel like the things that they did get right, that they did do,
they got it really right.
That they did very well.
Yeah.
And Little Cricket, that was like a surprise hit. She comes off as like this, happy, lovable, I love everybody because she's so needy character, but she has a great story throughout.
Fantastic arc.
A fantastic story. So I'm gonna say drop what you're doing and watch it. Mm-hmm. And probably if you're listening to the show, you've probably watched The Boys. Mm-hmm. So you should probably watch Gen V because it is part of that universe. Yeah. Homelander makes an appearance towards the end, which was fantastic. I was not expecting that.
Neither was I, man. Yeah, neither was I. But my one thing though about that is that is he ever going to be held accountable? He really is kind of becoming a dictator at this point.
In this world, they talked about because I don't remember what happened in the last season, not all of it of The Boys, but they talked about Homelander going on trial or whatever, or they talked about him being held accountable for whatever he did.
Yeah, because he kills that.
Yeah, he killed not a spectator, but a protester.
A protester. He just laser beamed his face.
Yeah,
and everyone started cheering.
Yeah, and everybody started cheering for him.
All the Trump supporters basically started cheering. Right. Yeah.
So I'm curious. So maybe he gets off, or maybe he just, maybe it's still in the process, but they do mention it in the show. So this is happening in real time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when he showed up and everybody's like,
oh shit.
No shit. It's Homelander.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Marie starts explaining to him hang on.
Yeah.
I did the right thing. And he's like, you think you can do that to your own kind?
You can take your own kind. And I was like, oh, this is turning.
They're going to kill Marie?
Yeah.
I know she's the main character. You're going to kill her?
Oh, dude, I actually really loved that ending. I loved that. So he's just Homelander. He charges up his freaking lasers, and then next minute
everybody's in the hospital.
They wake up in this ward. Yeah, this freaking ward, and then the news is by then your heroes, Kate, whatever, and Sam, whatever.
And I was what?
I was like, wait, what happened?
How are they? How do you spin that to them being the heroes?
Right? Yeah.
But especially when they're the instigators.
Exactly. But the power of Vought, man.
Yeah, I need some. That might be a dislike. I need some. I'm gonna need a breakdown on how that worked.
How I spun it,
right? Yeah, how they spun it to that level. Yeah,
it's a power.
But if you've this
big business and politics, man.
Yeah. So on just for everybody's edification, in Rotten Tomatoes, the average tomato meter is 97%.
Oh, okay.
The audience score is 76%.
Oh, okay, so I'm with the audience.
Yeah.
But I will say though that overall, as a spinoff, it stands on its own. You're not going to be oh, this is just Boys. This is just The Boys. But no, it does have its own merits that are separate from the Boys series. So I think it is worth watching.
It does stand alone. It does stand alone. This could be its own show. I'm going to give the show, personally, like I said, I'm going to say drop what you're doing and watching it. And I'm probably going to give it maybe an 85.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I thought this show is, I think it's really good. I think if you're looking for good superhero content, this might be one of the best things out right now.
It's hard to find good superhero content in this day and age now too.
But then Invincible.
So, bing, bing, bing. Which we are watching.
We are.
I haven't started yet. But,
okay.
But
I'm gonna say we, I mean I.
Okay, that's gonna end our talk on Boys, or not the Boys. Gen V.
Gen V. Yes. Yeah. Close.
Yeah. And then we are excited for The Boys season 4, which is around the corner. So right here. So yeah.
And apparently season 2 has already been greenlit for Gen V. Before the first season even ended.
Oh, very good.
Thumbs up.
We're doing
season 2. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm happy for that. So,
cool.
Very cool.
All right. Well, then let's get into what are we into this week.
I'll go first. Okay. I think I was trying to remember something from last time, but I did watch a documentary called Doctor Who Am I? Which is a documentary about some of the Doctor Who universe, but they also talked to the writer of the Doctor Who movie that came out in the mid 90s, I want to say.
Okay.
Very controversial.
Yeah.
The doctor from that movie, he was only in that movie, but he is counted as a legitimate doctor. He was a doctor. So he is canon for the most part, but it's a very divisive thing because they essentially what they were trying to do is they were trying to take, because Doctor Who was off the air in Britain for a chunk of time.
Right.
And they were trying to bring it to America. So they were trying to make an American movie to make an American series, I think, at one point. So it was very different. And one of the big gripes is in that series, the Doctor kisses somebody, and the Doctor is very he's like a
asexual.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's weird because I was going to say he's like a hero from like the 50s, like a cowboy from the 50s, like Roy Rogers kind of thing.
Okay.
Like, okay, hopefully, well, some of you guys might know who Roy Rogers is. Yeah. But like the cowboys didn't kiss the girl at the end. There was a girl. There's always a damsel in distress, always very pretty, but he never kissed her. You know, it was that kind of thing. You know, man, I'm really talking about stuff nobody's gonna know. But anyways, back in the day, the cowboy just, you know, rode off into the sunset. He never, you know, kissed the girl at the end, kind of thing. Not in like the shows or the serials or whatever. And it's that same kind of thing. Like everybody wants Doctor Who to remain without a love interest, because a love interest technically, or it might mean that that's going to become his focus, as opposed to saving the world, saving whoever he's meant to save, kind of thing. He's this very, you know, altruistic deity for the most part. So, but anyways, it's a very good series if you are into Doctor Who, or if you just want to know a little bit more about Doctor Who. It's on Prime. Doctor Who Am I? Very good. Highly recommended.
Nice. I finally got through the South Park Enter the Pandaverse episode.
Oh, I haven't even started watching it.
Man, it is...
My friend Dave mentioned it. Dave, what's up?
Oh, hey, Dave. It is spot on. It is the most accurate... obviously ludicrous. Like, really exaggerated.
Take on all the pandering going on.
But very, very accurate to how it is. And... well, first of all, the episode itself is great. You know, the Pandaverse and Cartman's catchphrase, or sorry, Kathleen Kennedy as Cartman's catchphrase, the put a chicken in it, make her gay. Put a chicken in it, make her gay. And like there's like one part where he's on the set of the Bambi live action. Yeah. And then he gets on the set and he's like, put a chicken in it and make her gay. It's like, well, this is Bambi. It's about the deer. Like, that doesn't matter. Put a chicken in it, make her gay. And that's like the whole catchphrase. Like it's so it's funny. It's really funny. And the fact that the response from like Disney and all these like other actors and stuff are really against what they're saying in this episode just adds to this. Like it was like, well, that's the point.
Yeah, you're not helping your cause, guys.
That's the point.
Thanks for proving them right.
Yeah, you're proving them right. Exactly. And it's great. It's amazing. It's perfect South Park humor. Yeah. Really hitting on some current and very real.
Yeah. Good for them, man. Funny. Yeah. They're holding everybody accountable. Yeah. I mean, at one point in time, that's what the news was supposed to do.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
now it's South
Park. South Park is doing it. Yeah. So it is great. Yeah. What's the Enter the Pandaverse or whatever it's called? It's fantastic.
Nice. That's great, cool. But, I have not watched it yet, but
I gotta check it out.
Everybody knows about it. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Well, I guess that's it then, huh?
That's it.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in as always. Yeah, we great time talking about the Gen V. Check it out. Let us know what you guys think of it.
Yeah.
And
who's your favorite character in Gen V?
Exactly. Let us know. But anyways, my name is Trent.
And my name is Marc.
And this has been
Geek Off The Street. Hey, this is for Batical.
I just noticed that.
That's for you.
Yeah, Teenage Mutant Jedi Turtles. That's great.
Bam.
Very cool.